Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We've got 3 more games here in the NBA playoffs on Thursday. We're going to be kicking it off in this episode with the first game of the night. Got my Knickerbockers and the Detroit Pistons going back at game 3 in Detroit. Also going to have the other 2 as well, so make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Continue to follow along as we bring you individual episodes for each of these games to help you guys with the matchups and breakdowns you need to get those plays in. Nate, let's go ahead and get right into your first look here for this Pistons-Knicks game.
Yeah, I like the under. It's 214.5. Maybe you can get it at 215 where it opened because there is money still coming in on the over. But this seems like a throwback series, right? I mean, black and blue. Basically 2 dominant ball handlers just kind of hoping that the refs will bail them out. And it worked out last time out for Cade. Cade got a very friendly whistle. The Knicks got a very poor whistle. But, so this will ebb and flow a little bit in terms of free throw attempts based on the refereeing crew, but in general, we're going to see the pace slow down as the series progresses. We're going to see better defensive adjustments against, again, a very heliocentric offense on both sides. The Knicks certainly looked awful offensively in the second half there because Detroit pretty much figured out a way to confuse Cat, just keep the ball out of his hands entirely. And then be like, look, well, we don't respect any of these other 3 guys, these defenders, to hit shots consistently. We just got to load up on Brunson, and we dropped from a 98 pace to 91 in game 2. If you look at most Knicks series, they do tend to hover around the 91 pace. When you look at the Tibbs Knicks in games 3 and 4 when they switch venues, they are 7-1 to the under their last 4 series. The only outlier being that 50-point Embiid game in a wild 125 game with Philly. Certainly possible, but Detroit also had some shooting regression. They basically shot 50% from 3 in game 1, and that's the only reason we went over there. Otherwise, they have the highest turnover rate in the playoffs. They have a very low offensive rating in the second half this far. Not getting a lot of assisted field goals at all. It is a lot of, again, Cade just going one-on-one, hoping to get the shot he wants or to get fouled. And eventually that's just not going to fly. So I think slow enough pace to keep us under here.
Yeah, it makes sense to me entirely. If you're looking at the way that these 2 teams have played in the first bunch of games, they're not good at stopping the one thing that they have on offense going for them, which is Cade and JB. I would be selling out a little bit more for sure. And we're just going to keep getting these things grinding down a little bit more as we continue to move through the postseason. So yeah, these things are going to start getting down to the 203s and stuff like that. And I see you getting ahead of that a bit here, but I'm going to take Osar in this one. I'm going to take an over for him, 15.5 points and rebounds for him. What I dove into in this game was he was actually really good, and Dennis Schroeder wasn't, other than making a bunch of shots in the very end of the game. He played the whole fourth quarter because Osar had 4 fouls, then he quickly had 6, and he played 2 minutes in that fourth quarter and was gone. But he was a +9 in that third quarter when he was really starting to get going. And Schroeder was a team worst, -7 in that quarter. And he only did that in 4.5 minutes, right? So he came out there and everything Osar and the starters had put together at the beginning of the third started to fall apart a bit. And the Knicks came back as a result of that. But I think they want him out there. And if you look at the way that it works with him, just give him 26 minutes, man. If you in 26 minutes a game, he's at about 18.5 PR per game. And the only reason, like I said, he couldn't play in this one, just couldn't keep his hands to himself. But in the 4 games that they played this year, 2 games that he's gone over, he played 23 plus minutes. 2 games he's gone under, he played 21 minutes exactly in those games. So you just extrapolate it out. It's really just a minutes thing. He is the main defender on Jalen Brunson, as we know. And so as a result, he's going to probably not always be in the best position for rebounds specifically, but it hasn't really messed up his rebound chances as he's adding about 1.5 rebound chances per game in the games against the Knicks versus his season averages. The other thing here, Duren, I don't know how he gets back to 37 minutes. He's played 37 minutes twice this year. And Duren being off court does mean that Osar is one of the better rebounders. He's still probably second best. I'll give Paul Reed his due. And if Isaiah Stewart does play, he's definitely, a better overall rebounder and rim protector. But you're going to see Osar keep coming in and flying in for those rebounds off ball. Tobias Harris has like Cat on him, which is fine for scoring, but not good for rebounding. And that leaves Osar in a much better spot to come and get those boards, because Jalen Brunson's also guarding him a lot, right? Which leads to offensive rebounds in addition. And then the 9.5 points is just too low. He's about 12.5 a game when he plays about 24, 25 minutes. So everything a little bit low. We're getting a nice deflated stuff to go over because of the way that the game 2 went down, but we get that back out to the averages, and we're in a good spot here.
I'll only disagree with you on one thing. Dennis, don't say a bad word about Dennis Schroeder. Okay, that man just won. He will already drink for free in Detroit for winning their first playoff game in decades. And he's a dog. I mean, he can be out there closing for sure. I mean, he can play, and Alsar will also play. And hopefully for the under, that means no Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway, no spacing, and just again a black and blue series. So I have another way to bet the under, which is to say Jalen Brunson's of course going to get his 25, and we're still going to go under. And then we're looking at plus 150 with that negative correlation play, because again, the Knicks just don't have, like I was saying, how they have options this year compared to last year. It didn't really look like that. It looked like Jalen Brunson was like, somebody please hit a shot. Like, Mikal Bridges, please step up. And it just was not happening. So they're going to continue to double off those three guys, him, OG, and Josh Hart, and try to force the ball out of Cat's hands. But with Brunson, like even with Osar, I don't know if they really have a true option to stop him. And he's just going to be such a high volume guy. I mean, 38% usage in this series. That's consistent. His last 13 playoff games, he has a 37% usage rate. And he's gone 25 plus in 11 of those games. One of the exceptions being game 7 when they were done last year. 10 and a half free throw attempts in this game. That's again consistent, and it's probably only going to continue because Detroit fouls at the highest free throw rate. I think since the All-Star break, they're definitely one of the top 3 in that regard. Osar, as you mentioned, has had trouble keeping his hands off. And the refs, they don't hear the chatter about the Pistons getting a better whistle in game 2. So like it's coming back around. Brunson's getting the line pretty consistently. He's getting his 25, I think. And I believe this will go under as well.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm playing this slightly differently, but I'm playing it as well. I'm taking Cade also for 30 plus. I ain't gonna lie. The two of them together is plus 3. Like it's like 3-1. Like it's awesome. When you look at the two of them together, getting one more point than what their lines are at, right? 28.5. They just need one more each, and I'm getting 3-1 for something that Brunson has done in 5 of 6. Cade has done in 4 of 6, and the only reason Cade hasn't done it in more than 4 of 6 is because the first game they lost by 30, so he played fewer minutes, and the game that they played in game 1, he just shot like crap, and then that was really the end of it. But he still is getting what he wants, man. And look, as a Knicks fan, like I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't see it. I don't think it was that unfair. And part of the reason is like even as a Knicks fan, and even though Jalen Brunson's already the best player that I've ever rooted for in a Knicks uniform, the foul baiting is a real thing. So I'm going to give the refs a little bit. It's tough with a guy like JB out there. But let me go to an under here. Back to what I thought I had last game was Jalen Duren under 24.5 PRA. He ended with 26, I believe, or 27, because he had 24 with 8 seconds left in the game. And then he got a defensive rebound to basically steal it and then hit 2 free throws at the end. So up until 8 seconds left, we had a winner there, and I'm going to go back to it. I'm not going to be afraid of that. And I'm getting a better number now at 25.5. So I'm happy to do that. A lot of things would need to happen. I think more things need to happen for him to go over. That's really what this comes down to. Is an under is he had 0 fouls in the first half, Nate, and 5 in the second, right? So he still ended with 5. But if you're looking at it and you're like, wow, how did he get 37 minutes with 5 fouls? Well, he didn't foul in the first half at all. So that'll help him build up those minutes. He's played 37 minutes twice now, that game and a 39-minute performance against the Bucks, where he also managed to keep his hands to himself for a little bit in that one. So that's the main out that you get an under for JD, as I'm just going to call him now, but for Jalen Duren. And then, the other ways here is that this is still a very, 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 very good defense at limiting what centers want to do. They're still top 5 limiting rebounds. They're top 10 limiting points. And the assists, I'm happy to add the 2.5 because I still think we're getting a good number there when he's at about 2.5 on the season, and we get about flat for him to go under. So happy to add that to it, the 3 assists, and go under 25.5 PRA for our guy in about 26, 27 minutes is what I would project.
Yeah, and like you said, the ball bounced his way a lot to get those rebounds. I mean, he's a great rebounder, but he definitely benefited from some luck there in game two. So if that comes down a little bit, I don't see a lot of scoring here, obviously based on my takes. So yeah, I think he definitely could get an under here.
Yep, for sure. So that's all the time we have for you in this one, though. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel because we are bringing you an episode per game here in the playoffs. So until we see you next, happy betting.